Judge declares marijuana saves lives after hearing from users who wanted Schedule 1 status tossed. For anybody that doesn't know what that means exactly, pot, for a very, very long time now, has been declared a Schedule 1 drug by the DEA. That means it has no redeeming qualities and is just as bad for you as heroin. That's essentially what that means. Clearly, that's not true. Like, that's just straight up not true. Like, that's false. And there are tons of benefits for medicinal pot and stuff like that. There's no evidence it's physically addicting, et cetera, et cetera. You guys know all that. But nonetheless, the DEA has not budged on that Schedule 1 designation. So even though we're starting to evolve a little bit on the drug policy, there's still a long way to go because that Schedule 1 designation should have never been there in the first place. I mean, the drug war was one of the best pieces of propaganda ever in this country, and then the campaign worked. I mean, and we acknowledge that it was as bogus as it was. Like, we watch Reefer Madness now, and we realize it was a propaganda film, but still, we base our drug policy on it. Like, yeah, this is a propaganda film. Isn't it funny? Yeah, so maybe pot shouldn't be a Class A drug anymore. I don't know about that. Seriously, it's based off this stuff that we know is bullshit. Yeah, but okay. All right, so let's get into the article. A judge weighing whether pot should be considered a dangerous drug under federal law seems sympathetic to medical marijuana advocates during a hearing on Wednesday. Manhattan federal judge Elvin Hellerstein heard arguments for a July 2017 lawsuit in which several medical marijuana users sued the federal government. Under federal law, cannabis is classified as a Schedule 1 drug, meaning it's considered so dangerous that doctors can't legally prescribe it for medicine use. Well, 30 states have reportedly greenlighting pot use in some way. Users and vendors could still get charged under federal law, regardless of whether it's medical or recreational, the suit states. Hence why we need to get rid of that designation. Cody points out that his tribe is moving forward without federal government and building a grow-op. That's pretty cool. The civil complaint is pushing for the present classification of cannabis as a Schedule 1 substance to be ruled illegal. Some of the plaintiffs include Alexis Bortle, a 12-year-old girl with epilepsy. I heard about her. Her seizures stopped when she started cannabis treatments. We did a story on that here. Another 7-year-old, Jagger Cote, has Lay's disease, which typically kills children by the age of 4. But since he started taking THC concentrated medical marijuana, he has stopped screaming in pain, has been able to interact with his parents, and has prolonged his life by more than 2 years. Your clients are living proof of the medical effectiveness of marijuana, DC points out. It could be recognized to have some medical use if the law changed, Dollinger said. So it's time to change the law. So on one end, you have evidence. So, I mean, look at how ridiculous this is. And I know in some ways I'm really preaching to the choir here, but just look at how ridiculous this is. On one end, you have all this evidence and all these lives that medical marijuana has made better, and all this mounting scientific evidence. And on the other end, you have literal propaganda movies from like the 30s. How come we still say marijuana, not cannabis? Do you want the short answer or the long answer? I think we say medical marijuana because it's just easier to say and because it sounds more kind of proper and official. Marijuana itself is a term that has racist undertones, actually. I try not to say medical marijuana. Or marijuana. I'll say medical marijuana because that's kind of taken on a tone of its own. And medical marijuana, I think, sounds more prim and proper. And it's the type of verbiage that kind of helps in converting some people to its benefits. I do believe that to be true. However, marijuana itself has some racist undertones. Now, of course, people, usually don't remember that. So it's not like when somebody says the word marijuana, they have bad intentions. I mean, I would say 99% of the time that's not the case. However, I try to just say pot myself. Like I try to just say pot just because I don't want, I don't want anti-pot advocates to dictate my language. However, I think medical marijuana, I think it helps for the cause overall. Does that make sense? That's how I feel. I could be totally wrong. That's just how I feel. So on one end, you have all this evidence. On the other end, you have a propaganda film, and they're like, well, we need to do more. We're not. So the judge told the feds to stop saying it's not medicine.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. That was a clip from Get Your News On with Ron, the world's first viewer-curated streaming news show. What does that mean? That means I log on to a stream and people tweet me articles over on Twitter at Ron Placone, or they use our Reddit subsection, which is just Get Your News On with Ron over on Reddit. And that's how we build the show. I'm seeing all these articles for the first time. We are literally getting our news on together. Follow me on Twitter at Ron Placone so you can participate. And this show streams live every Tuesday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please do tune in. If you want to support this show, you can do so over on patreon.com/Ron Placone, where for as low as $1 a month, you get access to exclusive podcasts every week, exclusive videos, free tickets to shows when I'm performing in your town, and more for as low as $1 a month. Please do consider it. Thank you so much for your support. This has been Get Your News On with Ron.